probably going to dial. I didn't get Joe's text. I got Melissa and Dalton's number. Oh, man, where did this come from? Huh. No kidding. Yeah, we're good to go. Yeah. Hey, Joe, this is Dane in the studio. Is there any way we can... I can't hear anything through my headset. Not sure what's going on, but if you need to, you can just text me when we're about to come on. My number is 843-640-7448.
For them to wear tonight. I'll introduce you, Dane, and then you can kick it off, and I'll just chime in if I feel like it.
That'll work.
1 minute. Thanks for the water.
Thank you, sir. I got one.
Let's do this. "30 seconds, boys." It's decent. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Charleston Battery radio broadcast. We're live from Blackboard Stadium. It's the Battery versus Harrisburg City Islanders tonight, the final game of the USL Pro regular season. The Battery assured of playoff football. We don't know who they're playing next. They'll be away next weekend. My name's Andrew Bell. I'll be your host tonight. Alongside me, Dane R. Lucas, as we get ready for what will be a very good game tonight. The Battery playing for position, Harrisburg playing for their lives. They absolutely need a result tonight. If you're listening here locally on ESPN Radio 9, 10 a.m., there's still time to come out to the stadium. Tickets available, fireworks to follow the match. And, of course, tonight is the big night for John Wilson as he plays his final regular season game for the Charleston Battery. His 269th appearance in Battery colours. They'll be honouring John throughout the evening. And I'd encourage you to come on out. It's going to be a good night, good football available, and, of course, fireworks to follow. Dane, big game this tonight for the Battery, but even more so, it's a huge game for the visitors, Harrisburg City Islanders.
Well, Harrisburg come in knowing full well what's at stake here. A weekend set, 2 games in the next 2 days for the visiting team, and Unbelievable stuff right here. I mean, it is neck and neck at the bottom of the USL Pro table, and one little slip up, one little mistake, and that could send Harrisburg tumbling home without any postseason play here in the 2014 campaign.
I was looking at the standings. The Battery, of course, they're assured of a top 8 finish, which gets them into the playoffs. The highest the Battery can finish is 5th. If it ended the way it is right now, the Battery would be heading to LA next week. It's possible, of course, the Battery could drop and maybe play Richmond next week, which would be okay. And it's also, there's a slight chance if the Battery finished in 8th place, which would take some mathematical oddities for that to happen, but it's possible the Battery could be on its way to Orlando or Sacramento. So too early to tell. By the end of the evening, we'll know more. By the end of tomorrow night, we'll probably know everything.
Right, exactly. And just to paint a little bit of a picture, if Charleston comes out, win here, wrap up the 3 points tonight, Wilmington will have to take the next 6 points of their season to knock Charleston out of 5th place. So there is plenty at stake here still for Charleston, although they have secured their playoff spot. So certainly a lot to play for both teams here tonight.
All right, we're live on ESPN Radio 9:10 a.m. We're in the pregame. It's the Battery versus the Harrisburg City Islanders. Kickoff in 11 minutes' time. There's still time to come on out to Blackboard Stadium. We'll be back with more after these words. Thank you, sir. Got most of it in there, Ed. I got stuck on Jimmy McLaughlin. Oh, careful there. Careful. I don't want to go through that window. You hit the mother load last night, by the way. It's Guinness. Leon's. That's a good deal. $5. Leon's on King Street. Everything else is rather it's going to stop raining. It's going to be nice. And the pitch is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be nice and slick.
Grease. Smoke bomb in the march.
There we go.
Fantastic.
That's awesome, man. Next season's going to be great.
It's going to get better and better.
Oh. Smoke it that way.
Is it?
Seems like that was over there about 5 minutes ago.
Last spot. Thank you, Joe. $5 seconds. And welcome back to Blackboard Stadium. We're live here. It's pre-game. We've 7.5 minutes till kickoff. The Charleston Battery taking on Harrisburg City Islanders tonight in this USL Pro game. The heavens have opened up here at Blackboard Stadium, actually. It's raining, but looking up, it's clear blue sky. So I've got a feeling it's going to move through. And actually, this is just about perfect right now to get that pitch nice and wet. The ball will skip across it. Very greasy surface. Perfect. The players love it. It suits the team with the better technical quality, of course. And, well, if you ask both coaches, they'll back themselves on that count. So we'll see. We'll be the judges from up here tonight. My name's Andrew Bell with Dane R. Lucas alongside me. And, well, it's going to be a good game. We know that. Battery versus Harrisburg, always a tough game. We've met them on this fixture before, last game of the season. We've also met them in the playoffs before. But right now, the Battery, well, they have the luxury of not needing a result tonight. Harrisburg, though, desperately need to win. That's the way the game is set up for you tonight. And I'd be very surprised if Harrisburg don't open up very early on and try and find the 3 points. The other big story tonight, it's John Wilson's final night in a Charleston Battery uniform in a regular season game at home. He's available, of course, for the postseason play. Dane, I've watched every single game John Wilson has played in a Charleston Battery uniform, starting with the very first game that he played, which was back here in April 1999 when the stadium opened. I think you weren't even alive, were you?
You know what? I'd like to take credit for that, but unfortunately I was about 10 years old. Johnny Wilson, though, he's been unbelievable throughout the duration of his career, whether it be here with the Battery up in Rochester or in the ranks of the MLS. He's been fantastic. Just a pleasure to watch, and such a great guy. For as good of a player is, 100 times better of a guy.
It's amazing when you think about it. Here he comes. He's captaining the side tonight. He's just walking out now. There's a round of applause below the stands as they saw him wearing that number 25. Apparently there'll be a minute's applause at the 25-minute mark tonight, which will be nice to see. John grew up in Seneca, South Carolina. He went to Clemson University. He was an All-American striker at Clemson. He was a forward, but when he came to the Battery, Coach Alan Dix said, I think I fancy him as a left back. And really, that changed his career.
Well, I think
he's established himself as one of the best left backs to have played in this league.
Yeah, I mean, I think Alan Dix had it correct when he said, you know what, I see something in this.
To tip your hat off to him. I've had messages today from people from all over the league wishing him the best. Players, former teammates of his. Jason Cutney has texted me, the owner of Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and said the same thing. I mean, just a tremendous outpouring of support for John tonight. Some good stuff on the USL Pro website about him as well. And of course, don't forget, John had 5 years away from the Battery, played with DC United. He had 1 year with Rochester and then several years with DC United. Really, you know, one of the...
America's top travel magazine named Charleston the best city in the nation, so it's no secret that people are flocking here. But people from all over the world come to MUSC for our unparalleled expertise year after year. Maybe that's why so many national organizations invest in our breakthroughs and why so many of the world's top doctors continue to join us. So while Charleston's magnetic draw may not surprise you, we wanted to remind you about ours. MUSC, changing what's possible.
things around Charleston, and it will be a very nice evening for some soccer.
Slick surface. It's going to be a quick game. If you're listening here locally, come on out to Blackboard Stadium. There's still time out here on Daniel Island. Battery versus Harrisburg City Islanders coming up next on ESPN Radio, 9:10 a.m. Thank you, Joe. Just going into the anthem right now. Thanks. Hey, Joe. That ad is a week old. Could you remove it? The battery one, thanks. 30 seconds, Dane. Okay. And welcome back to Blackboard Stadium. Pre-game here right at the kickoff. Actually, it's the Battery versus Harrisburg City Islanders. And Zach Prince is just saying a few words on the stadium mic for John as the players of the Charleston Battery give John a Charleston Battery jersey with the number 269 on the back. That's the number of games he will now have played for the Charleston Battery. That number may go up a little bit. We'll have to see if I'm sure he'll play next week unless there's a problem with him, an injury perhaps, but 269. He gets a pat on the back from the coach, Mike Anhauser, and the team heads off into the middle. They are ready to go. Let's have a quick look. Well, you know what? Let's welcome in our those folks who are joining us on the USL Pro broadcast. Thanks for coming along tonight. We're also live here locally on ESPN Radio, 9:10 a.m. We're broadcasting live from Charleston, South Carolina, here at Blackboard Stadium, the first soccer-specific stadium built in the United States. It's 82 degrees here in Charleston, partly cloudy. We just got rid of the rain. We had a little sprinkle a few minutes ago. And our referee tonight, Agostino Minnesola. He's got the ball, and let's see, who's going to get the ball when we get underway? I think the Battery will have possession, and will be going from right to left in this first half. We're in the black and yellow. It's the last few words of advice for the team there, huddled together. Or is Harrisburg going to have kickoff? Maybe it's Harrisburg. They're coming to take the ball. Remember, no Colin Falvey tonight. He's unavailable now through the end of the season. Quinton Griffith also unavailable for selection tonight. He's with the Antigua and Barbuda national team just for the game tonight. He'll be back for the playoff match next week. And Dane Kelly unavailable tonight through injury. So a couple of changes forced for the Charleston Battery, but I don't think Coach Anhauser will be too concerned because, again, this game it's for position. It's not for the playoff places.
Sure, Andrew. Coach Anheuser does have that security blanket of having a playoff spot secured going into this game. So that doesn't mean that the Battery aren't going to come out here and try for 3 points, try for that when it's a bit of a makeshift starting 11 for sure. If you look at it, it's a little atypical of what we've generally seen from the Charleston Battery throughout this year, but some loans, some call-ups from the national duty teams, it's kind of forced the hand of Coach Anheuser. But I think we're in for a very entertaining match here tonight.
Away we go. And it's sent long immediately by Harrisburg, who had the ball from the kickoff. Charleston in a bit of trouble early doors, and will they pump it away now with Mueller? No, he's going to try and take a little touch out of the box. He has to tackle down there, and he concedes a free kick right down by the goal line. Well, I'll tell you what, that's a generous start from the Battery defense, and it puts Harrisburg right on the front foot here in the early going, first minute in, and this is a chance for Harrisburg. They'll whip this one in and try and test the Battery back four and goalkeeper Additional Cooper.
Yeah, Taylor Mueller in because Colin Falvey unavailable for tonight, loaned out to the Indian side. So Mueller drops back into the center back position, and a very unintelligent foul right there. It's just flirting with the border of the box.
I mean, it's almost a penalty, isn't it? It's right on the line. So this is a chance for Harrisburg. Are the Battery switched on? A chance for the City Islanders to jump on top of the Battery. They're looking on at the ticket line. Here it comes into the middle. It's Wilson who gets the head away. A Jetty helps it out, and Harrisburg will see that one into touch for a throw-in, level with the 18 on this near side. Quickly taken. Sent down the line, and Ajeti misses the tackle. Prince wins it back, and away comes Emmanuel Ajeti with possession. He's going to have to look and try and fire down the line. The flag goes up. It would have been offside. Play continues. The Battery have it back. Wilson pings it forward. We talked about the slick surface. It really is slick down there. Some footwork from Wilson. Bit of a hospital ball, and now the Charleston Battery under the pressure because here come Harrisburg running at the Battery back four. Forced wide by Ferguson, who takes possession away. It's been a frenetic start, and here's Cuevas for the Battery in the midfield.
That's brilliant by Sean Ferguson, making himself big, pushing, I believe it was Langley to the end line, and just closing out the space a little bit.
Lovely ball that from Portillo to find Prince, who leaves it for Van Schaik. Van Schaik cuts inside. He looks up. He's got Sanyang now, who can bring it forward. Rolls it forward to Cordovez. Tries to hold it up. Back it goes to Portillo. Harrisburg collapse into their defensive shape. You saw a player slip there if you're watching the YouTube broadcast. On the surface, it is going to be very slick out there. It's perfect, really. Natural grass surface at Blackboard Stadium as Ajeti fires it back to Mueller, and this time it's a surer pass from Taylor Mueller to find Ferguson. 3 minutes in, no score. Wilson for the Battery. Turns it back to Ferguson. And now out to Mueller on the right side. Mueller can bring it forward. Hits it long into the channel. And that one straight into touch from Taylor Mueller. It'll be a throw-in for Harrisburg.
You just get the feeling, Andrew, that we're in for some sort of a weird, very strange game. The first two matches between these two teams were played in Harrisburg. 4-0 result for the Battery the first game out, and then they dropped it 4-1 in Harrisburg later on in the season. So some very strange sort of results, and this third matchup only promises to be just as conspicuous.
It's kind of the rubber match, isn't it? Although it's not really a true rubber because two of the games were played in Harrisburg. But here are the Battery on the front foot, played into the box. It was a good ball from Van Schaik. Charleston aren't going to get to the loose ball first. It's away now to this near side. Langley plays it up the line. And although he's wearing Ribiero's jersey, it's actually, that was a bit late there, but he missed the player. It's actually not Ribiero out there. It's Wheeler as Charleston control possession now. And Harrisburg sit back. They're not going to pressure at this point. They'll allow Charleston possession here for the moment. It goes forward to Portillo. Back now to Mueller. Finds the feet of Ajeti.
Same sort of look, Andrew, for Charleston in the midfield, though, isn't it? With Portillo, Amadou Sanyang, and Jared Van Schaik in the middle of the park, setting up for maybe a bit more defensive midfield, but last time out against Pittsburgh, it counted for 4 goals, courtesy of a hat trick from Dane Kelly.
Cooper said, "That's enough of that, boys. I'm not messing around with it back there," as the defenders are just passing it back to him short, and it's a bit risky, and he just lumps it away, concedes a throw-in. Cordovez is there in the midfield to challenge. One in the midfield, though, by Ekra, and he slots it into the gap. That's a good first touch. Chance for a strike, and it's tackled away by Taylor Mueller, who points and asks for a goal kick, and he gets it. Good defending there from Mueller after a hesitant start from the Washington native.
Right, he made a mistake in his first little encounter of the match, but really makes up for it there. It was Hampana in a fantastic area of the box, and Mueller had to sprawl out for it, and did just cut it off, and ended up earning himself and the team a goal kick.
They're lined up along the boards behind the goal there, I think to get out of the rain a little bit. I don't know if it's still raining, but it rained earlier, just before kickoff, as Cordovez's touch is loose, and it goes to Andrews, who plays it out to the left side to Raphael Cox. The pressure tonight firmly on Harrisburg. They need a result.
Absolutely, Harrisburg in dire need of 3 points. They have a game tonight, a game tomorrow against Charlotte, and at 34 points right now, you think they'd at least need 4 more points, but that's at the very least.
Oh, maybe just a point will do it. We'll have to see. It could go either way, couldn't it? A win would put them in, I think.
You would have to think so. Even 1 more point would certainly put them in, but
get them
results.
closer, Dane.
Absolutely.
A point would put them in with a shout. I don't think 34 is going to do it. Here's Wilson right now for Charleston. Harrisburg coming into the game on 34 points. The Battery have made the playoffs on 38. We thought before the season 36 or 37 would do it, but it's very tight below the top 5, including the 5th team, the Charleston Battery. There's Cordovez, tackled in possession, but he finds Cuevas, who is tackled himself, and it goes backwards to Nick Noble. It's a first touch for the goalkeeper of Harrisburg City Islanders. Drives it out to this near side. Wilson wins the header, snaps the ball forward. Cordovez tries to get on the end of it, and it's headed away. Which way is that going to go, ref? In favor of the visitors, the Harrisburg City Islanders.
Yeah, Charleston's been controlling possession a bit more than Harrisburg City in the opening 7 minutes, but really not doing much with it, controlling most of the possession in their own defensive third.
Van Schaik finds the loose ball, turns onto his left foot, and tackled as he tried to get it up the line. The play is struggling on the surface at the moment. And here come Charleston now with Portilla. Oh, he slipped it forward, but it was read very quickly and easily as Mueller does the same thing on the other end. And now here's Cuevas. Quick little feet to turn away from trouble. Finds Prince. He's got a Jetty overlapping. It's slotted forward. And it was a difficult ball that from Portillo. He misses the pass, and Harrisburg can come back at the Battery here in the 8th minute. Charleston 0, Harrisburg 0 the score. And it's the Islanders on the front foot. Good tackle that from Prince, but he has to tackle again to consider. Well, he's got the decision. That looked like a throw-in for Harrisburg, but Agostino Minnesota, our man in the middle tonight, points in favor of the Battery.
Good defending by Zach Prince. It was a Jetty who had pushed up a little bit and caught himself a bit out of position, but Zach Prince doing his donkey work in the back, making sure that a Jetty is covered for.
Harrisburg with possession now, just inside the Battery half. The Battery in the black and yellow tonight, going from right to left in this first half. We're live on ESPN Radio, 9:10 a.m. as Portillo goes to ground to win the tackle. Now here's Van Schaik. Back it goes to Cuevas. Now Wilson on his left foot. Sets it back to Ferguson, the former College of Charleston man. Sanyang collects it, and back to Ferguson again. Here's Wilson. Difficult for him, that ball, but he does keep possession alive for the Battery. Now Portillo puts it onto his left foot, strokes it down the line to Cuevas. Cuevas has a look up, chips forward to Prince, whose first touch is read well by Harrisburg, who parry it clear. The Battery possess again. A Jetty squares it back to Ferguson. Harrisburg again comfortable in their defensive shape, looking at the Battery with possession here as Wilson tries to hit it cross court. It's a good ball from Wilson. The touch a bit heavy. Oh, the deflection spins wide of the target. If that was on frame, it was a goal.
Absolutely. It catches Nick Noble a bit off guard. Of course, who wouldn't that catch off guard? Andrews just clearing his lines, and Cordovez doing a good job not giving up on the play. But if Harrisburg's going to drop back in that defensive sort of shape, it's going to take those penetrating balls over the top and through those central defenders to really find Cordovez or someone in the attacking third in a dangerous position.
10 minutes played. Charleston Battery 0. Harrisburg City Islanders 0. Charleston work it out to the right back, Emmanuel Agetti. Turns back inside onto his left foot. Here's Portillo being tracked closely. Plays it back to Sean Ferguson, who looks for some movement. There's nothing on ahead of him. He has to go square to Mueller. Mueller on his right foot. To Agetti. Back it goes to Mueller. The game just slows. It's been a hectic first 10 minutes. No real clear-cut chances, though. Prince asks for it. Has to go back to Mueller. And Harrisburg, again, just comfortable watching Charleston with possession here as Mueller goes long, looking for the run of Cuevas. Headed away by Harrisburg. Portillo finds the loose ball. And here's Cordovez. Oh, it gets caught in his feet. He couldn't pick the pass out, and the attack breaks down. Langley for Harrisburg. Nice little body fake there. They work it back to this near side. He needs to be careful there, and he plays it behind the defender. That was Boehner who just missed his pass, but it's away now by Harrisburg.
And look how high Charleston push up. They really want to put some pressure on the back line of Harrisburg City, and you could see it right there, but that opens up numbers in the back.
Long ball forward, a bit of a hopeful ball. It's straight through to the Battery goalkeeper, Adisnell Cooper. Again, we're live on ESPN Radio, 9:10 a.m. We're also live on the Battery YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us, inviting us into your homes tonight. Hope you're enjoying the action here in the early going. As Charleston send it back to the keeper. Plays it wide now to Taylor Mueller. Looks like the rain has eased off. Mueller controls just outside the 18-yard box. It goes back to the keeper again. Remember, the Battery in the playoffs. Hoping, I would think, to secure that 5th seed, which is where they enter tonight's game as.
Granted, Andrew, it is early on in the match, only 12th minute, but Harrisburg seemed to be the team that looked to be the one with the playoff spot secured. They don't seem to come out and really pressure too much in the early going. Granted, it is early.
There's a lovely ball from Cuevas. He's put Wilson in behind. Wilson squares it. Chance for the Battery. Away by Harrisburg. Wilson controls on this near side. Little step over from Wilson. He goes to the byline, cuts back inside onto his right foot. He's going to lose possession as the ball slips away from him. And that was a chance for the Battery. Harrisburg drive it long. Agetti's going to have to sprint to get goal side. Kept in on the far side. Nicely done. Harrisburg have got numbers forward here on the counter-attack. Tackled by Agetti. Doesn't get it cleanly away. And now Mueller does.
Great counterattack. It was sparked all by Boehner up over here on the right side of the defense for Harrisburg City.
Here's Boehner himself. He goes backwards to the centre half, Marquez. Marquez forward into the midfield. Back it comes to the right back, Boehner. Van Schaik playing at left midfield, closes him down. Good touch there from Langley to Wheeler. Wheeler drops it forward. Mueller has to be strong in the tackle, and he wins the ball and finds Cuevas. Cuevas looks up. Cordovez was asking for it early, and now he'll receive it to feet. Back to goal. Now here's Prince, the right midfielder. A bit loose there, but he finds Sanyang. Now here's Portillo for the Charleston Battery, middle of the park. Out to Wilson at the left side. Thought about going forward, but he goes back inside to Portillo. Portillo will send it back to Taylor Mueller, and that's just something that the Battery have added since they've added Portillo into the midfield, is the possession on the ball. He just is one of those players who doesn't get phased when he's under a little bit of pressure.
Well, it's not only his passing, Andrew, but his positioning, where he runs and those open spaces that he finds himself in within the middle of the park, within that center third of the pitch. He is an intelligent player, and really a lot of credit has been given to Jose Cuevas for the big turnaround, but a lot of the credit needs to go on the shoulders of the number 20 in the black and yellow, who has just been controlling things in the midfield.
Ferguson slices one into touch there. It's a throw-in now for Harrisburg. Boehner will take it. We're approaching the quarter of an hour mark. No goals here. As that one over the head of Portillo. Wheeler sets it back towards Ekra. Prince slides into the challenge. He got caught. Play on, says the referee. No foul. Harrisburg with possession. The advantage with them. There was no foul, and he's going to stop play because Prince needs some attention. And the ball booted out to the fans on this near side by Jose Barril to stop play. I think the referee had already blown his whistle. I'll remind you, it's Charleston Battery versus Harrisburg City Islanders for you tonight here. Live USL Pro Soccer on ESPN Radio, 9:10 a.m. We will have the playoff game for you on 9:10 next week. We don't know who the game is against yet, or where it will be played, or when it will be played. That's the beauty of these of this playoff system, because there's so much up for grabs. 3 playoff places yet to be determined. Although some calculations give Wilmington a playoff spot because of the tiebreakers, and it actually may be the case that Wilmington would qualify here.
Yeah, they've got a game in hand at 26 games played. They play Dayton and Rochester. If they were to win those next 2 games, they would secure the 5th spot, I believe.
Yeah, and I think even if they lose their last 2 games on tiebreakers, they would find their way into the postseason. I believe. I might be slightly off there, but
there's a whole bunch of algorithms that we could try to figure out. I think it's just best we let the players settle it on the pitch over the next couple weeks.
We'll definitely know it by the end of the weekend. There's the ball out to this near side. It's controlled by Harrisburg, set back to Boehner. Looks forward and has to go backwards to Langley, who's got Cuevas ahead of him. It's a loose one into the midfield. Sanyang thought about it. He had a nibble, but pulled his leg back, and Harrisburg can push forward now with Barril across the halfway line. On the ground, that's a good ball into the player just outside the 18-yard box. Portillo shrugged off. Wilson in with a challenge, as is Portillo. Van Schaik takes possession for the Battery.
Well, this back line is going to need all the help they can get from the midfielders for Charleston here. They're going up against some very experienced Harrisburg City players. Wheeler and Hampanat, the loanees from Philadelphia.
Early ball across. That's too long, and it's behind for a goal kick as Ajeti just got caught jumping in there, and the left midfielder for Harrisburg did a nice job of slipping away from him and past him. I'll tell you what, there's a long line still at the east window. People do tend to arrive a little bit late in Charleston, and there's a whole bunch of people still to come in over there. As Cooper hits it long. It beats everyone in the midfield, and Cordovez sets it forward. Oh, Cuevas misses his pass. Oof. Oh, it was just about cleared there by Cody Andrews, and Harrisburg control at the halfway line. Here they come now. It's a strong run forward from Hoppenot. Gets it wide to the outside. Now Barril. 17 minutes in, no score. Ekra slides it forward. Little no-look pass from Langley, and it's straight through to the Battery's number 0, the goalkeeper, Additional Cooper.
It's been interesting to watch in the first 18 minutes. It seems like every time one team gets to push some numbers up, they end up giving the ball away, and then an opportunity to counter on the other end presents itself. Who's going to be the first team to take advantage of those numbers being pushed up?
I think the pace of the service has caught the players a little bit by surprise for both teams. It did rain, and they both sides have struggled with it a little bit. It's very slick, and it's going to make for an exciting match, as we've seen already in the first 18 minutes.
Well, they warmed up on a dry pitch, and then just about before they were heading back to the locker rooms, it just poured down, and made for a bit of a difference from the pregame to the actual match game.
You see that. Orlando do that. Sacramento do that. They'll water the pitch right before kickoff. Charleston don't do it because they'd end up watering the fans as well. They're so close to the pitch. Here's a jetty for the Battery. Back to Mueller. Now Portillo. Midway up inside the Battery half. He'll square it to Van Schaik onto his left foot. Gives the Battery a nice bit of balance there at left midfielder, Van Schaik, in my opinion. There's Cuevas back to Ferguson, and now Wilson. He's going to have to drop it back to Ferguson again.
But, I mean, look at the freedom that Jared Van Schaik has allowed right there. He is the designated left midfielder for the Charleston Battery, but he's in the middle of the park right here. He can shift up into that second striker sort of role if he needs to. Jose Cuevas is filled in. It's a very interchangeable system that Coach Anhauser plays.
Ooh, there's a loose one from John Wilson, and it's straight to the danger man, Ekra, who slots it wide. Chance here, no, it's just overhit to this near side. Langley goes to ground, keeps it in play, looks for the cross, swings it to the back post. Good take from the goalkeeper. Well, that was a loose challenge, wasn't it, from Wheeler, who caught Additional Cooper after he had control of the ball. Let's see what the referee decides about that challenge.
Well, Wheeler, he's a big boy, isn't he? And he might think he's got a right to go after that, but Cooper in there with good positioning and paid the price for it. It was a good ball sent in.
I think you've got the right to challenge for it, but you can't lead with your arm. If you're gonna be brave, put your head in there and try and win the ball. Don't lead with your forearm. And I think he caught the goalkeeper Cooper, who looks like he's okay, and he's getting a talking to, Wheeler, from the referee.
Well, not just from the referee. Taylor Mueller wasn't a happy man, gave him a little earful as well, and rightfully so. That's your keeper in there, and going into the playoffs, you want a full strength squad.
Credit to Cooper, though, who did take that ball cleanly, and he held on to it under the challenge, under the foul. It'll be a free kick for the Charleston Battery inside the penalty area. 20 minutes played now at Blackboard Stadium. Charleston Battery 0, Harrisburg City Islanders 0. Live USL Pro Soccer for you here on the Battery's YouTube channel, plus ESPN Radio 9:10 a.m., the Battery's radio partner in the 2014 USL Pro season. The moon is up over us now at Blackboard Stadium. The fans still streaming in over there on the far side. The supporters section in good voice, and Cooper drives it away. Prince the target, beaten in the air. Sanyang controls the first to the loose ball. Cuevas picks out Cordovez. Can he get round the fullback? He can. Oh, what a shot, and it's just over the bar for a goal kick.
Oh, it's always rising from Cordovez, but that's all he needs is just that little space, that little split second of time to be able to cut into that left foot. And boy, did he put a firecracker on Nick Noble's goal, but just couldn't quite keep it down.
I think that's the first shot of the game, isn't it? Second shot of the game, we're told, and he'll be disappointed there, Cordovez, that he didn't just relax and put that one on frame, because neither goalkeeper's been tested with a real strike yet, and that ball is going to be very greasy for the goalkeepers to handle.
Well, that's one of those, Andrew, where you cut in, you're on your favorite foot, and you would just assume bend that one into the far post. He elects for the pace and power and just skies it a bit.
Ekra for Harrisburg. Good ball out to this near side. He's asking Boehner to get forward, get at John Wilson. Plays it back to Ekra. Ekra will swing it into the back post. Headed down, chance perhaps. And, good save from Additional Cooper. It wouldn't have counted because the player was offside. But he just showed who the boss is there for a second. He just went to his right and pushed it wide.
Hoppenow found himself in an offside position, but in just about a fraction off. And Odesno Cooper up to the challenge right there with it just off balance, one hand slap at it.
Big kick out from Cooper, whose distribution has improved noticeably over the last month. Harrisburg find the ball and get it wide to this near side. Langley at the halfway line, plays it inside to Burrill, looking for the give and go, but Burrill goes backwards now to Marquez. Marquez, right foot, squares it out to Andrews. It's going to be under a bit of pressure, and it's a loose one into the middle, but it's a good touch from Ekra to maintain possession for the visitors. He's given away, though, to Sanyang. Sanyang for the Battery now. Rolls it down the middle to Prince. Prince can't get the ball through the gap, and Harrisburg have it back at the edge of the 18-yard box. Calm there from Marquez through the middle to Ekra. And now here's Hoppenot. Plays it forward. It's a bit hopeful that. It's a loose touch from Ajeti, but he goes to ground to keep possession for the Battery. Slides into the challenge. Now here's Sean Ferguson for Charleston. Looks up. Goes to Mueller, who has to go first time back to Ferguson. He's going to have to hit this long, which he does. And it's controlled, kind of, but it's won back by Cuevas. Cuevas turns. He's looking for some support. He finds Portillo. Portillo gets it out of his feet, and that's a lovely ball out to Prince on the far side. Is Ajeti going to get round him on the overlap? He is. Prince cuts back inside, plays it forward. It's straight through to the goalkeeper, Nick Noble. He missed his pass.
Cuevas applauding. He knew that he was showing for the ball, just not exactly on the same page, Zach Prince and the youngster Jose Cuevas, but Ajeti was running on the outside. And good bit of interchange between the Battery players.
Wheeler just shrugs up Mueller off, and the ball drops nicely for Hoppenot, who plays it across the face. There's no one there. The midfielders just couldn't. It wasn't really their fault. There was just no way they could catch up to the attack on that occasion for Harrisburg. It's a throw-in now for the Battery, down by the corner flag on this near side. I'll remind you, the Battery has qualified for the postseason. Harrisburg still not quite there. Close, but not quite there. Need a result. They play tomorrow night in Charlotte, I believe.
That is true.
So it's a big weekend, big final weekend of the season for the City Islanders.
And for me, Andrew, if you're Harrisburg City right now, there's no complacency or waiting or reserving yourself for tomorrow. You need points tonight.
Yeah, you got to go for it here with the fresh legs, in my opinion. As Ekra works the little 1-2. Charleston nibble away. Don't get the ball, though. It's Burrill who plays it forward. Langley into the penalty area for Hoppenot. Good tackle from Ferguson, but, well, did he do enough? No, it's going to be a corner kick, surely. And, yes, there's the decision. Corner kick, Harrisburg City Islanders. And he slipped there, Ferguson. I'm wondering what sort of footwear he's got on, because in the old days, the Mark Watson days, you wore your 6 studs on an evening like this.
Well, he's old school. He's got the black boots going. He's got that old school sort of game, doesn't he? And
it is quite slick out there. It's a corner here for Harrisburg. It'll be an in-swinger from this near side. Who's taking that? Hoppenot. There's the round of applause for John Wilson on the 25-minute mark. The Battery have got some defending to do. In it comes. It's Wilson who heads it away. He'll get an even bigger round of applause for that. But the danger not over yet. The ball swung to the back of the 18-yard box. Chested down. Maybe a chance for a strike. Burrill brings it forward. Charleston defending. There's a little back heel. The applause continues and Charleston win it back. Remember, the Battery's John Wilson wearing 25 as he has his career, and receiving a minute's applause from the fans who he's delighted over the years. He's won 3 championships with the Charleston Battery, John Wilson, and it really is a remarkable achievement. 269 games played now in a Charleston Battery uniform. There's the minute up, and nice to see the respect given to him by the home fans. Mueller squares it now to Ferguson. Gives you chills, that, Dane.
Yeah, you know, it's somebody who's meant so much, not just to this club, not just to this team, but to this entire community. He's been here for so long, and great to see the community give back, and a very well-deserved minute applause for the number 25, the captain here tonight.
Captaining his side as Harrisburg work it up the touchline on the far side. It's Burrill now on his right foot. Looks, has a look up. Goes backwards, and it's a good challenge there from Mueller. He finds Cordovez, who's caught in possession. He was trying to go it alone. If he'd have just looked up there, Van Schaik was trying to get up alongside him. And the counter-attack on now with Boehner. Boehner round to the outside. Chance for a cross here. Perhaps. Cuts inside Deschang. Finds Burrill. Drives that one forward. That would be hard to control. Wheeler does a good job, but shows a bit of it to Cuevas, who doesn't win the tackle. Charleston trying to pressure Marquez now on this near side. Here's Ekra, who's drifted out to the right touchline. Oh, nice leave, but it's left in the end for a clearance for Portillo. Oof. That one is a bit cheeky from Marquez, who absolutely clobbered Cordovez, who didn't even see him coming.
Well, you could hear it from up in the booth up here, and Cordovez, as a result, is left a bit shaken up in the Harrisburg City touchline.
You hate to call for a booking, but that has to be a booking because Cordovez couldn't defend himself.
Well, he comes right through him, doesn't he?
He came on the blind. There he goes. He's going to get booked. He came through him on the blind side and knocked him down. You know, there's no real intention to play the ball, Dane.
Yeah, and it's a silly challenge from your center back who is so out of position. What's Cordovez going to do in a situation like that? It's over here by the touchline. It's coming through the air. It'd be a difficult touch to even keep it in play, and as a result, Marquez ends up getting booked and putting his team in a difficult situation for the next hour.
If he just stays away, it's a throw-in for Harrisburg. As it is, it's a booking, and it's a free kick now for the Charleston Battery, and looks like Cordovez is okay. The danger there was he was so close to the bench that he could have collided with some hardware, or maybe one of the players down there.
Might have ended up in the 5th row.
Yeah, looks like he's up and okay. 29 minutes in, Charleston Battery 0, Harrisburg City Islanders 0. Wilson drifts one forward. It's an inviting ball in, headed away by Harrisburg. Up and away, the flag up for offside. The referee allows play to continue. And now he'll stop it for the offside.
Well, that's a strange one there, Andrew. A few too many touches for me had been played on from the man in the middle right there, and then they did eventually turn it back. If you're going to call it, but...
Yeah, call it immediately before someone gets hurt, Ref.
Exactly.
Agostino Minnesota, the man in the middle tonight. Half an hour played at Blackboard Stadium. No score. We're live on ESPN Radio 9, 10 a.m. A big crowd here tonight for the Battery versus Harrisburg regular season finale. Last game of the year for Charleston. In the regular season as Harrisburg pushed forward. It's away by Charleston.
He's the one that Harrisburg wants to have in those threatening positions, though. Hoppenot, he's been really good. He's put himself in a couple of good situations, but nothing has come of him. He's going to be very dangerous, though, and Mueller and Ferguson will have to keep an eye out.
Wilson's going to drive it forward. Prince beaten to the ball. Van Schaik down the channel, and it's Cordovez who's going to get there ahead of Marquez, who stays away this time. Tries to push him over. He gets the tackle in. It was good work from the defender to concede a throw-in.
Doesn't quite have the pace that Dane Kelly does. Similar sort of striker, though, where he likes to play with his back to goal, have a run at defenders when he can.
Throw taken. It's to Portillo. They allow the throw square. Now back to Wilson. There's two in the middle for Charleston. On the ground to Cordovez. Sets it for Van Schaik. He's on his right foot, so he can't really strike it. Now back it goes to Sanyang. Back in turn to Taylor Mueller. Good work there from Harrisburg City Islanders to force Charleston away. Mueller lifts it long. It's not really not much on there for Charleston, and it's going to be a free kick for Harrisburg because Prince was offside.
Well, it's all very compact from the City Islanders, isn't it? Once the ball is in the attacking third for the Battery, 8-9 defenders drop behind the ball, and it's very tough to work the ball around in those tight spaces.
Andrews chips forward. It's won by the Battery. Sanyang to Portillo. Can he find his way out from that little mess of 3 or 4 players around him? He can. Set forward. Cuevas turns and he slots it down the line. There's a player down on the far side. The referee says no foul. Charleston were appealing there, but it's going to be a throw for Harrisburg. A little bit of chippiness has come into the game in the last few minutes, Dane.
Yeah, you would expect it with a game this late into the season, and one that is so impactful and so meaningful that there is going to be maybe a little bit of emotion boiling over. It's all about who keeps their head, who keeps their cool, and who plays the more disciplined brand of soccer here tonight.
Harrisburg on the front foot on the far side. Level with the 18-yard box. Chance for a cross, perhaps. No. Set back into the midfield to Ekra. Ekra plays it forward. Good ball, that. Heavy touch from the centre forward. He maybe gets away from the defender. No. Charleston dig back in. Portillo has a look. He's going to have to hit it long here at Jetty. Gives it away. Poor ball. Tackled back by Cuevas, who does hit it long. He's fouled, and that'll be a free kick for the Battery as who was that? Langley just took his legs away.
Well, Wheeler, he's a big, brawny boy up there at the top spot, the number 9 for the Harrisburg City Islanders. And you could see him just imposing his will over there, keeping his balance, keeping his touch, and almost slipped it in through for Hoppenot. It would have been in on goal, one-on-one with Cooper. He just couldn't get quite enough behind it, could Wheeler.
It is a bumper crowd here tonight, and they're still lined up at the ticket window on the far side. I can see that from the press box here. 33 minutes gone. Charleston Battery 0, Harrisburg City Islanders 0. A big game tonight for both teams. There's a bird, a low-flying bird. Off you go. Flying right across in front of the press box. That gets a round of applause. Like a blue heron, that.
That stirred more out of the crowd than most of this game has, that's for sure.
I know. We are a bit of a wildlife island here. As Baril now strides out with possession. He finds Ekra, who gathers it up in stride. He sets that ball through. Chance maybe. The Battery were caught there. Down goes the player. Get up, says the referee. I'll tell you what, if I'm Harrisburg there, I'm asking for a penalty kick.
Well, they've got to shout for it, don't they? But I think Wheeler overruns it, and
there was definite contact.
It's Ferguson who gets contact with him, but I think he's always favored to the ball, as Wheeler was just kind of backtracking a bit. There was certainly a possibility and a cry for it. You would understand if the man in the middle, Agostino Minnesota, would have called it.
Charleston on the ground. Get it to Van Schaik. Now here's Cuevas, the danger man. Looks up. Plays it square to Prince. Prince with a little dig forward. He gets it back from Cuevas. A bit tight there, and it breaks up as the Battery run into too many Harrisburg players. Baril plays it short. Langley with possession. Chips it into the gap. Good ball. Heavy touch. One back by Sanyang. There's a 50-50. Sanyang goes in. Lusty challenge. His foot was on the ground, said the ref. Throw in Harrisburg.
And you can just tell if you've been watching the Charleston Battery over the course of the season that Cuevas and Cordovez do not have the same understanding. They are not quite in tune in terms of timing that Cuevas and Kelly have, and that's just what you get when you got your number 9 first choice man out with injury.
Kelly, who has recorded double-digit goals now for the Charleston Battery in consecutive seasons, 10 this year to date, 12 last year in the regular season.
8 in the last 9 games as well.
Yeah, he's on fire. He's unavailable tonight because he's got a slight pull. Should be around next week, though, I'm told, as that ball is good into a good area. Charleston go to ground with Mueller, who just got the tackle away. Wilson clears. Throw in Charleston Battery.
And it's Hoppenot again. Those two, Wheeler and Hoppenot, combining very well to make life awfully difficult for the center backs of the Charleston Battery. It was Mueller, I believe, tracking back and just getting that vital touch.
You had to be careful there because he was coming in from the side, almost
Right
from behind, but he got the ball as Cordovez can't control it. He's asking for a free kick. The referee says, get up.
Never going to get that.
Parried away by Ferguson. Cuevas gives chase and doesn't get there. Boehner now with a throw-in for Harrisburg. 10 minutes to go till halftime. It's 0-0. Here live on ESPN Radio, 9:10 a.m. Andrews to the halfway line for Harrisburg. Chips it forward. Headed away by Charleston. Controlled by Prince. Chips forward himself up the line for Cordovez. Turns with possession this time, but turns into touch. Throw in City Islanders.
Cordovez, when he's most effective, he's getting the ball around the attacking third, whether he's running on or he's just having a chance to run at defenders. He's very, very good with the ball, with him coming to the ball, but not as good, just kind of holding up possession as Dane Kelly is.
Good header there, won by Harrisburg, but Mueller reacts first, gets to the loose ball. Portillo outside of the foot. Great ball here to Wilson on his left foot. Brings it to the halfway line. Van Schaik sets it forward. He has to evade the challenge from Marquez. He goes wide to Cuevas. Cuevas, first time ball into the box. Good challenge from Marquez, who goes to ground to concede a corner. That's the Battery's first corner of the match.
Well, there were two options right there for Cuevas, and it was Van Schaik making the shallow run into the end line, but Johnny Wilson was making that run into the box, and the number 7 was hoping to find the 25, the veteran here tonight.
The Battery have been very good from set pieces since Cuevas has rejoined the team. Here's the delivery, chip to the back post. Mueller underneath it, beaten in the air. It comes to Portillo, heads it forward. Van Schaik helps it on. Not fully away yet, still not away. Challenge is flying in, given away by Harrisburg. Cuevas swings a good ball to the back post. Oh! Ferguson and Sanyang miss it. It was sitting there for them.
And they seemed to just get in each other's way, didn't they? Sanyang and Ferguson were best for it in the air. Both of them were. Both had a chance at goal, and it ends up not working out. But a sloppy bit of defending from Harrisburg leads to a very good chance, perhaps the best of the night for the Charleston Battery.
It was there for the taking. You're right, almost like they got in each other's way. Here's Hoppenot trying to turn around past Wilson, who will hold him off. Hand goes up, arm to the face, free kick, says the assistant on this near side. It'll be Harrisburg with a chance to whip one in from a wide position.
Hoppenot maybe making a little more of it than perhaps deserving, but he does draw the foul, and it's a threatening position here for perhaps Ekra to put in a service.
I don't see much there myself, but sometimes the officials that aren't in the middle like to get involved in the game, as we saw on that occasion. 39 minutes, Charleston Battery 0, Harrisburg City Islanders 0, and a chance here for Burrill. Let's see what he can do on that right foot. It'll be an outswinger. See if he can get some pace on it.
Got to think Wheeler.
Swept in, good ball, and punched away. He opts to punch Cooper. Cordovez heads it clear, and Ekra controls. Onto his right foot. Can he hit it from here? He can, but does it get to the parking lot? Not, yes, it does. Into the parking lot. Goal kick, Charleston Battery.
Well, for me right there, it's got to be better from Emil Cordovez, doesn't it? I mean, tries to flick on over to Zach Prince, but Harrisburg's always going to be the favorite to get that pass, and gave the ball away in a dangerous area. Jan Ekra, if he keeps it down, could trouble Odesno Cooper right there.
Nice clip out there from the battery, and it's controlled now by Sanyang to Prince. Can he find Ajeti? He can, and Ajeti's beyond the fullback. He takes a poor touch, but he's still going here. Ajeti into the box, squares it, looking for Cuevas. He misses the pass, and the counter-attack is on. It's 3v3 here. Harrisburg control at the halfway line. Baril helping out. Here he is. Good run from the midfielder there. Gets it wide. Good ball to Langley. Good touch as well. Lining up in the middle. Here's the cross. Oh, it's saved! Somehow Cooper gets it away. Looked like it was headed in. Danger not over yet. And it should be taken. Oh, he beats Cooper in the air. Good header that from Wheeler, but it's over the top for a goal kick.
And Mueller was caught in no man's land, wasn't he? The cross comes in from Langley. It's a dangerous cross put in. Gorgeous stuff from the number 15 in blue. Couldn't quite get there was, I believe, Hoppenot. And then
I think it was a battery play that played it.
It was Mueller.
It was Mueller who played it. It was going to be an own goal from Mueller.
And for me, he had to take that touch because if not, Wheeler's sitting right behind him. He's just going to knock it in. So really, Charleston got a big break right there. Odesno Cooper was on his toes.
Sanyang wins the header, but it goes straight forward to Hoppenot, who's looked lively here in the first 40 minutes. 5 to go to the break. He chips it forward. Ferguson cushions the controlled touch. Finds, he got knocked to the ground. The referee says play on as the battery have the advantage. Here's Cordovez, turns to square up against Andrews, goes backwards to Cuevas, who has to step across the player Langley, works it out to Prince. Prince squares himself up to Cox and plays it forward. He gives it to Jan Ekra, and the counter-attack is on again. They've got some running to do now, the midfield. That was a poor ball from Prince. If it comes off, it's fantastic. If it doesn't, you're under pressure.
Well, yeah, it was Cuevas who was the intended target, but just slipped behind the defender, Ekra, and it turned out to be a silly-looking pass. But the idea was there, and it's a good bit of play from Prince.
Ekra gives it away. That's not like him, and it's straight to the battery midfield. Sanyang back inside to Portillo. There's nothing wide here for the battery. That's what the midfielders are saying.
Sanyang was a little disappointed that Ajeti hadn't made that run.
Here's Wilson now for the battery. Right-footed ball, swings it to the back of the 18-yard box. Oof. Oh, chested back. Nicely done from Cox. That's confidence for you.
Well, the communication's got to be on point right there. Cox gets word from Noble that he's got some time to just shift it back. And Prince had just taken his foot off the pedal a little bit.
Coach Janhauser up off the bench looking on as Sanyang opens his legs up, makes the ground, finds the ball, goes backwards, and now it comes to the halfway line to Zach Prince. Let's see what he can do this time. 2 players ahead of him. He's still got it, finds Cuevas. Cuevas slips it forward, and Cordovez is offside. And Noble comes out. He got the challenge in. I tell you what, if the flag stays down there, the battery are 1-0 up.
Yeah, well, it was a great bit of understanding between the back line. Boehner and Marquez just pulled up in time as Cuevas was lifting his head up to make that pass. Cordovez, you'd think he'd check his run just a bit more. But for a player who's been a bit cut short of playing minutes here today, this season, he's just not on the same page.
I think the tension has risen markedly in the last 10 minutes. You can feel it a bit more now. This is playoff football for Harrisburg at this point. Long ball forward, and Charleston let it run through to the goalkeeper, Odesno Cooper. We've got, about a couple of minutes to go till the break. It's Charleston Battery 0, Harrisburg City Islanders 0.
Charleston sitting on, under 24 points at home. The mark that Coach Anhauser had in his mind before the season was 30 at home, 30 points. So if they wrap this one up here today, they'd be just 3 off the pace, but certainly already locked into the USL Pro playoff positioning.
Cuevas makes a bit of a meal of that one, but he goes to ground and the referee buys it. Free kick Harrisburg. He's got no business going up for that. It was really a battle between Ekra and Sanyang, and he put himself in the way and got the free kick. And it's a chance here for the battery, although it's a difficult angle, this, from, let's see, just inside the half. Very central, this positioning. And Cuevas swings a good one into the area. It's caught by Noble, who almost steps back across the line with it. But good goalkeeping, that.
Well, he took everybody off guard, doesn't he? I mean, Harrisburg certainly wasn't ready. Most of his teammates in the box weren't ready either. And as a result, Noble collects it quite easily.
Lovely midfield work there from Van Schaik, who just takes that away from Langley. And pushes forward. There's not much on from him. He finds Prince. Prince turns with possession, slots it through to a Van Schaik. Oh, good save, Noble. Cordovez onto his left foot. Strike comes in. It's in! 1-0.
Gorgeous stuff there. First off, it's Zach Prince putting in a lovely ball to Van Schaik. Thought he might have had it one time. Rebound comes out, and who's there? The Cuban missile, Eviel Cordovez, who takes a touch, goes to the end line, and then slaps it off the far post. Beautiful from the Cuban. And for a man who's been short of goals here this year, that one couldn't have come at a bigger time right before the halftime whistle.
On the 45-minute mark, credit to Noble, though, because Van Schaik was through and he came up and made a huge save.
Right.
Unfortunately, the rebound went straight to Cordovez, who just slotted it into the corner.
And for the first time in a long time, the table is turned for the Battery, and they're the ones getting the goal before the halftime whistle. Generally, it's the boys conceding right before the halftime break, but this time we'll see how it pays off.
The onus on Harrisburg now to respond before the break. There's not too much time, and here they come. A jetty across on the cover, launches it clear. Cuevas to Prince. Can he find a teammate? He tries to dribble his way out of trouble. He gives possession away, and Harrisburg have it back now at the halfway line. We're in time added on at the end of the first half.
It's just happened a bit too often for Coach Anhauser's comfort level, trying to dribble out of the back, maybe get a bit too cute when all you got to do is push up and maybe get some numbers to retreat in terms of Harrisburg City.
Out it comes to this near side. Chance for a cross here in the dying moments of the first half. We're in time added on at the end of 45 minutes. Charleston dig in. Ball comes into the back post. That was dangerous, and it's a good clearance, and it's a poor touch from the goal scorer.
And again,
Charleston inviting pressure. Here's Wheeler just outside the box. Out to Cox on his left foot. Lovely ball in. It's just too long for Hoppenot, who goes to ground. And Langley struggling a little bit over there. Let's see if he's okay. There can't be too much time left in the first half. Charleston have taken the lead. 1-0 the score. It's a throw-in for the Battery. Down by the corner flag on this near side. It's been a brilliant first half, Dane. Your thoughts quickly here on this first 45 minutes.
Well, for as short of goal-scoring chances as we were in the first 20-25 minutes, it really did open up over the course of the first half, didn't it? Charleston just starting to take control a little bit. It always seemed like they were controlling possession as Harrisburg was a bit more tendent to drop back and allow Charleston some possession. But over the course of this first 45 minutes, the boys in the black and yellow have really put their stamp on this game, and it showed in the form of a goal from Eviel Cordovez.
1-0 the score. It's that Cordovez goal that divides the teams. The Battery have a free kick here. Wilson was caught by the Harrisburg player, and Charleston will take a free kick. They're in no hurry. They'll love to take a 1-0 lead into the locker rooms. I know Pittsburgh and Charlotte probably watching this game would love to see this result stand.
Yeah, you got to think for those couple teams fighting for that last playoff spot. Charlotte looking very intently, knowing that they're going to have a chance. That's a 6-point match tomorrow against Harrisburg, isn't it, Andrew?
What a game that will be. If you're in the Charlotte area, make sure you get out and watch that. That's like watching a cup final. As Cuevas beaten off the ball, he gets the player late. And it's going to be a free kick here for Harrisburg, and it's a yellow card for Jose Cuevas. And just a little bit of theatrics in the end from Langley, who's trying to get Cuevas into a bit more trouble than he should have done. And it's a round of a little bit of anger directed towards Langley there, who after I think he was going to get the foul, but then he's saying that there was a bit of afters from Cuevas. And
well, I think Langley's upset.
Cuevas was getting booked anyway, wasn't he?
Right, Langley's a bit upset because he has been a little hobbled over here on this near side, so just to take that extra one before going into halftime is going to irk you just that little bit more. And I think it's not Cuevas' first offense on Langley.
So Cuevas is booked. Here's a chance, though, for Harrisburg. They've just got to pump this one forward and hope for the best. There can't be more than a few seconds of the first half remaining. And, he plays it short into the midfield. Ekra wasn't expecting it, but turns with possession and chips it wide. A jetty over there to cover. Charleston force it away, and there's the half-time whistle. It comes to nothing in the end. We're going to go to break. The score at half-time, Charleston 1, Harrisburg City Islanders 0. We'll be back with more on ESPN Radio, 9:10 a.m. Thanks, Joe.
America's top travel magazine named Charleston the best city in the nation, so it's no secret that people are flocking here. But people from all over the world come to MUSC for our unparalleled expertise year after year. Maybe that's why so many national organizations invest in our breakthroughs and why so many of the world's top doctors continue to join us. So while Charleston's magnetic draw may not surprise you, we wanted to remind you about ours. MUSC, changing what's possible.
that nothing happened to him within the celebration of the goal, perhaps, because really that was the last thing he did in the first half. So hopefully when we get word from Coach Anheuser here later on tonight, he'll tell us that Evio Cordovez is doing just fine. But Dioufin, very capable. He can put the ball in the back of the net. Has been short of time here in the 2014 campaign, in which he has been loaned out from Vancouver Whitecaps.
Big chance for Diouf, actually. 45 minutes to impress before the playoffs begin. And that's absolutely right, Dame. We'll be talking to Coach Anheuser in about, in 45 minutes' time after the game. He'll be up here to give his thoughts, and we'll get the word on the potential injury to Cordovez. Or perhaps it's tactical. Perhaps he's resting him for next week. We'll find out. By the way, Wilmington 3-0 up against Dayton, so big result there for Wilmington, setting up a blockbuster game tomorrow night against Rochester. It's if you're in the Rochester area, make sure you get out to that one. There are some big games coming up this weekend. The rain's just kicked off again here at Blackboard Stadium as Wilson has to dig into a tackle. Van Schaik up the line. It'll be a throw-in here for Harrisburg, and it's coming down with some velocity, and the fans are ducking but for cover below the stands. Wilson plays it forward. Diouf cushions it and is dispossessed.
Well, we called for a strange game, Andrew. This it's been pretty typical so far, but just the rain added a little twist to the plot.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't stick around. Sometimes it comes and goes. Sometimes it sets in, doesn't it? It's still a warm evening, still in the 80s here, so not too terrible conditions to sit in. As Harrisburg chip it forward with Ekra. Wheeler steps away from Ferguson, fires it out to this near side. Ajeti has to challenge, takes possession, goes this way and that, and wins the goal kick. Well played there, Emmanuel Ajeti.
Yeah, he was running out of options, wasn't he? So he finally just has a turn, faces the defender, and clacks it off his shins.
I'm sure the Three Lions Club's doing some business now.
Absolutely.
That place will be packed below us. It is absolutely pouring here at Blackboard Stadium.
Coming down sideways.
I don't know where that came from. Wasn't really anticipated. It's there to be won at the halfway line. That will change the game immensely on the field. It'll turn into a real battle now with Wilson chipping away. Ferguson, Cuevas after it at the halfway line. Harrisburg control. Here it comes now, out to this near side. I tell you what, the rain coming down like this, we're going to see some water collecting on the field after a few minutes.
That's for sure.
Ajeti in with a good challenge, wins the tackle at the halfway line. Throw in Harrisburg. Driven out to the far side as the refreshments come upstairs for the press box here. Always a good time of the match. Wilson wins the tackle. Ekra to the loose ball first. Burrill plays it to Cox. Cox down the line to Deshang. Down the line in turn. He's going to drag Mueller across. Stays on his feet nicely there, Mueller, and wins the goal kick.
Well, it's good. Excuse me, Andrew. It's good to see Langley back out of the halftime break and running a bit. He's running perfectly, actually. He's no limp or anything like that. Seems to be okay. The only thing that's hindering him maybe is this rain.
Yeah, the fans taking cover beneath the bleachers. There's no roof here at Blackboard Stadium. As Portillo wins it at the halfway line, he finds Prince. Diouf is going to be caught offside. Free kick Harrisburg, and it's been a bright start from the City Islanders, as you would have expected. They would have got the message at half-time to come out and have a go, surely.
Absolutely. You got to think there's about a 10-minute period of time where Harrisburg City is just going to come out and try to get goal after goal after goal, create chance after chance, and that's a bad mistake right there from Mueller. Ajeti spared of his blushes after not the best of touches.
Battle over on this near side, and Prince wins it. He tries to chip up the line. It'll be a throw-in for the Battery in front of the Harrisburg bench on this near side. Charleston are 1-0 up.
And with the slick pitch, Andrew, you just got to think Dane Kelly would be perfect for a match like this, wouldn't it?
Unavailable tonight, of course, through injury. The MVP for the Charleston Battery as the throw comes in. Prince looked for the referee there, but he didn't get the decision. Wheeler with a heavy touch. Ajeti gets there first. Right-footed clearance to the halfway line. Well played there by Marquez to win the ball. Cox goes backwards now to Marquez, and it's all the way back to Noble. The goalkeepers in particular have to be careful with this rain pouring down at Blackboard Stadium. You know what? It may kill the fireworks display, unfortunately, as Sanyang can turn. He's got all the space and time in the world. Middle of the park, onto his right foot, heavy touch. Does he get enough on the ball to find Portillo? No. And it was an awkward one. And now here's Ekra, chips it forward. Mueller reads it. Ajeti has to stick the foot in. He got caught a little bit. Ekra gets it back. Now Baril on the ground to Wheeler. Lovely set to Langley.
Oh.
Charleston, just hang on. It's Portillo now to Cuevas away under his foot, and Harrisburg have it back.
And it's the right idea right there from Harrisburg City, isn't it? Langley just trying to slip through the right back. Boehner, but a little glancing touch from behind his back from Jared Van Schaik just holds up play right there and disrupts it enough to send Harrisburg tracking back.
Harrisburg with it at the halfway line. Across it comes to this near side. It's been a great response at the start of the second half from the visitors as Prince leaves his foot out. That's going to be a free kick for Harrisburg, and that looked like a painful one for both of them.
Yeah, and that's a couple times now that Prince has been involved. He's got to be careful. The bookings will come out, if not now, very, very soon if he's not a careful boy.
He's already been booked eight times this year, and he served a 2-game suspension that ruled him out for that West Coast trip. We don't want to lose players. Well, Coach Anhauser doesn't want to lose players before the playoffs begin, does he?
No, that would be detrimental to have somebody missing for the opening round of the playoffs, and especially someone who means so much to the team like Zach Prince.
It is absolutely pouring here. It's like that game we had against Red Bulls earlier in the season that was played underwater in many respects. It's a free kick here for Harrisburg. Ekra is going to take it, and he drills it into the box. It hangs up there nicely, though, for Charleston, who head it clear. Cuevas controls. Oh, lovely pass to find Diouf, and it's a good first touch from Diouf. Has he got the pace to keep possession? He has. Harrisburg stretched. Diouf turns into a bit of trouble. Keeps possession, though, and it's with Portillo.
Brilliant stuff, brilliant stuff. Maybe that's a reason why he's been introduced. Maybe holds up play a bit better than Evio Cordovez, and in a game where you need possession with a 1-goal lead, perhaps that's what Coach Anhauser was thinking at halftime.
Coach Anhauser making that change. That's a throw-in for the Battery, and the press is on from Harrisburg. They're really trying to close Charleston down quickly and working at this point in the game. Takes a lot of energy, that, though, of course. As Hoppenot gets it wide. Foul committed, is it? Yes. Wilson fouled. Oh, I thought it was the other way. Which way is he going to give it? It's got to be a Harrisburg foul over on the far side.
What?
And it is. So Harrisburg will have a free kick.
Well, what's the referee pointing at now?
He's changed it. I'll tell you what, he's got that wrong. That was a Harrisburg free kick, but he's given it to the Battery.
What's happening now?
And now he's going to pull it back and allow Charleston to take the free kick. The rain easing up here at Blackboard Stadium. Charleston Battery 1. Harrisburg City Islanders 0. We've played 53 minutes. Cuevas caught in the middle. Free kick Charleston. And that will suit Charleston if the game just degenerates into a chippy little affair. And just like that, it's like a tap was turned off, Dane. The rain stopped.
Yeah, it's just drizzling a little bit, but certainly allowing some of the fans to come back and take their seats and enjoy the next 38 minutes of play here.
And hopefully they're keeping the powder dry on the fireworks.
Let's cross our fingers.
Talk about pressure for Harrisburg. There's a bit of pressure on the fireworks crew tonight.
They didn't know they'd have to work overtime.
Good ball that time from Ferguson. He finds Cuevas in a good area. Cuevas works it out to the left side to Wilson, who's overlapping. He brings it inside. Right-footed ball to Cuevas. Sets it back inside for Wilson. He's got the pace. He crosses it, but it's too high for the Prince and Diouf, who are hanging out together at the back of the 18-yard box, and over their heads it goes.
Oh, well, it's a great bit of 1-2 play from Cuevas and Johnny Wilson, and Wilson just turning on the Jets towards the end line. Couldn't quite keep that cross within a dangerous area for the boys on the back post.
Cuevas can't control it. The ball played forward. Van Schaik up to Sanyang. Portillo now back inside to Sanyang. The ball set back to Mueller. Inside to Portillo. Good football this from the Battery, stretching Harrisburg, who are chasing and pressing. That's heavy, though, from Ajeti. And it'll be a it'd be simple for the goalkeeper Noble, who throws it out, and Charleston are putting Harrisburg under a bit of pressure too. The game is really fascinating at this point. 10 minutes into the second half, it's still Charleston Battery 1, Harrisburg City Islanders 0.
Well, Andrew, you would think with Harrisburg needing these 3 points here tonight, down a goal, this game is certainly going to open up.
Trying to stretch the Battery's back four, but Ajeti is aware of the danger, gets around one player, finds Prince. Prince has to be quick, he got caught after the ball had gone. Ajeti brings it forward, and he's still going here. Ajeti looks for the run of Diouf. Diouf's in behind, chance for Diouf, he's round the keeper! Yes, 2-0!
And Andrew, I thought he just took a bit too long, didn't he, Diouf? But it's one of his first touches of the second half. Beautiful stuff from Ajeti, who takes over. 1-2 played on the near side from Zach Prince, and then it's just left up to the young Ghanaian to carry the ball until Diouf makes that little slip run through the box, carries it past Noble, and tucks it home in ever so tight of spaces.
We often criticize the referee, but on that occasion,
right,
what an advantage he played. It was a clear foul on Prince. He allowed the Battery the advantage, and Diouf on the end of that lovely run from Ajeti. Good finish. And it'll probably be a booking here, will it, for the
absolutely
defender?
Should
no,
be,
he's going to let him off. 2-0 to Charleston. And, well, is there a way back for Harrisburg? They need to respond here, and quickly.
And you know what, Andrew? It was Cox who was guilty of clipping Zach Prince on a late little challenge, and he was the one who was caught out of position by Diouf on the other end. He dove in, he took a chance, he thought he could maybe hold up play, but instead Charleston turns on the Jets on the other end, and the counterattack works flawlessly.
Ajeti, he just looks so comfortable with the ball at his feet. He's running away with it, and the pace of the counterattack is what really stretched Harrisburg. It was a good ball as well, wasn't it, in the end? Harrisburg push forward here. Maybe a chance at the edge of the 18, but the tackle comes in from Mueller, and he can push away. The game is really opening up, and Diouf is going to stretch them again. Marquez dragged wide. Diouf is round him. Cuts it inside and out now. Turns, looks up, and goes again to the outside. It's Diouf on his own over here on the near side. He needs some support from the midfield. He's still going to the byline, and tackled finally. It'll be a throw-in for the Battery. That's good forward play again from the big striker. Interesting stat. He scored in the first game of the season against Orlando, and now he scored in the last game. Has he scored in between?
I believe once. We'll have to check the stat book on that one.
Charleston Battery 2, Harrisburg 0. Battery of quality. He hasn't scored again, so he scored twice this year. A bookended the season, if you like, because Cuevas tries to trick his way through a tight area, and he earns a corner kick for the Battery. With that cushion, Charleston can just relax a little bit, and I wouldn't be surprised, Dane, to see some changes at the hour mark if Coach Anhauser decides to look ahead perhaps to next week's games. It's a yellow card for Zach Prince for something or other. Well, that's normal. Quite frankly, what's that, 9 bookings now?
9 bookings, no stranger to some discussions with the referee.
It's part of his game, though, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
One
he
of those
wouldn't be out there and be the same effective player if he wasn't out there mixing it up and getting his name in the book.
Corner for Charleston. Cuevas in at the near post, headed up awkwardly. The keeper, it looked like he punched it into his own net, but he gets away with it. It's behind for a goal kick. He missed the punch. It spun off his knuckle, and fortunately for Noble, it goes behind instead of into the goal.
Well, the outfield players aren't the only one dealing with a bit of a slick ball, a slick pitch. Noble right there. Terrible mistake, and boy, was he let off the hook.
I think Anhauser's going to bring Prince off because he doesn't want to risk a red card before the playoffs. It's a corner here for Charleston. Cuevas is over it. Whips it into the back post. Oh, it sat there for Van Schaik, who just tried to steady himself, and he heads it wide.
Well, that's one of those ones, Andrew, where Van Schaik, he's on the back post. It's going to be difficult for him to have an effective shot at goal. It's one of those ones where you just want to toss it back across the face of goal and hope.
He's given a corner, mind you.
It's a very strange call. I thought it was a goal kick for me.
Me too. It must have taken a deflection. No real complaints from Harrisburg, so it probably did. Here's the corner for Charleston. Van Schaik drills it into a good area. It pops out to Cuevas at the back of the box. First time ball, spins it back in. Headed down, chance! Saved by Noble on the line. The flag was down.
And Prince didn't realize how much time he had. Of course, you're in the 6-yard box, so you're thinking, your mind's scrambling. Defenders have to be converging, but he had a chance to let it settle at his feet and have it touch one time.
That was a bit naughty, wasn't it, from Wheeler, who took the heel away from Ajeti.
Yeah.
He's got to be booked for that.
It's only one reason you stop the match for that.
He put his foot on the heel of Ajeti to stop the counterattack, and he does get booked. We've played an hour. Charleston Battery 2, Harrisburg 0. Here comes the change. It'll be Cuevas who makes way for Michael Chang. That will be the first substitution, and that surely a nod to next week's playoff game to keep the star man Cuevas healthy. And we'll see what the second change is going to be, because Adam Mena is also pulling on a jersey below us. If you're joining us late here on ESPN Radio 9:10 a.m., Charleston are 2-0 up. Cordovez in the first half, his replacement after 45 minutes, Diouf with the second goal, as Cuevas comes off and takes his applause.
Great stuff from Cuevas here tonight. Didn't get on the score sheet, I don't believe, but since his introduction into the Charleston Battery midway through the season, he has been really the difference maker. 3 goals, 4 assists in 11 games played, I do believe, and he has been the man behind the big turnaround for the Battery.
Yeah, definitely, if you look at it, the arrival of Ajeti and and Cuevas.
Cuevas a bit more of a mainstay in the starting 11.
Those are the 2 real changes, and the Battery have put together an impressive little streak of, what is it now, 11 games, 10 unbeat, just 1 loss during that period. Here come Harrisburg. They've got to find a response here, and they're digging away. It's Ekra at pace into a barrage of players. He pushes it wide to this near side. Chance for a cross here for Deshang. On his left foot, good ball in, headed away by Charleston. Chang's first touch, and he tries to trick his way past Ekra, who's not having it. Wins it nicely, pushes it wide, sets himself down the line for the return ball. Ekra turns and looks up. He's got Portillo ahead of him. He plays it in early, and Wilson is there to pop it clear. Ekra tracking him, but Wilson will just slot it square to Sanyang, up to the halfway line to Chang, who was looking for Prince to run on, and Prince just pushing forward as quickly as he can, watches as the ball goes through to Noble in goal.
Perhaps a bit heavy-legged Prince. He knows Mena's sitting over here on the touchline. His minutes may be winding down as we go on through this game.
I'd be surprised if Zach Prince stays on, because he doesn't want to get himself another booking and miss the playoff game next week. Let's see what the decision is. The tactical decision is here, and it is Zach Prince who will make way for Adam Mena.
Prince, fantastic. He was really responsible for both goals here tonight. Didn't get the assist, but he had the pass that led to the goal-scoring chances. First, it was the hold-up play in the middle of the park, hits Jared Van Schaik on a dime of a pass through the middle of the defenders. And it was Van Schaik who couldn't score, but Eviel Cordovez did. And then on this end, him and Prince and Ajeti working on the 1-2. Ajeti sprung into the counterattack. Beautiful stuff by Zach Prince, who was the man of the match last week against Pittsburgh, even though Dane Kelly had a hat trick.
Unfortunately, and I agree with you, Dane, he had a great game tonight. Unfortunately, the yellow card has forced him to be subbed out. Otherwise, he'd still be playing. But he'll be available next week in the playoff game. As Harrisburg send it forward. Wilson is underneath it. Good header away. Van Schaik is there. Touches it down with his head. Looks up. Can he find Diouf? Diouf springs to the loose ball. Tried to leave it for Portillo, but Ekra read it. Sets it across to Burrill. Forward to Hoppenott, whose touch is not the best. And it's Charleston now with Chang in a tight area. Goes to ground. Get up, says the referee. Ekra still very lively. To Burrill. Out to this near side for Deshang. 2 in the middle for Harrisburg. If he can get the cross, and he can, it's a good ball in. Charleston head behind to concede the corner. Yeah,
and it's a great bit of play. Deshang working himself over here on the near side touchline, puts the ball in. That's very dangerous. Sean Ferguson had to deal with it. Did it perfectly.
The ball swung into the middle. It's there. It was inviting ball. It was a good cross from the corner. Comes back outside. Now here's Hoppenot, who's at the top of the 18. He gets under it. Well, it was a bit flat, but it's not fully clear yet. Still not clear. Chance this! And Cooper makes the save. Wow. And it's scrambled away for a goal kick. Well, there was a chance, Dane, for Harrisburg City Islanders.
And it was Marquez breathing down the neck of Jared Van Schaik, who finally gets a second chance to swipe at it. Cooper may be a bit banged up after the play, but Jared Van Schaik coming in at the very last second to save his team and keep the clean sheet.
Well, he's had his critics over the course of the season, but I don't think you can argue with Cooper's form over the last couple of months.
He's been absolutely brilliant, barring maybe one or two missed touches here or there over the course of the season. Really, he has been brilliant. And early on in the season, they weren't scoring a lot of goals, the Charleston Battery. It ended up being Cooper saving a lot of points early in the season. Well, and those 1 points that really kind of came in the first half are turning into 3 points now because the goalkeeping is just the same as it was earlier on in the year, but now the Charleston Battery are scoring goals.
Well, Eric is warming up down there to our right. It's Cooper who's under a bit of pressure here. See if he can get up. It's Eric Shannon, of course, the backup for the Battery, and he's furiously going through his warm-ups. Well, we'll look across to Bobby Weissenberger from MUSC Sports Medicine. What's the decision going to be? He's helping Additional Cooper to his feet. Will he be able to continue? Let's hope so.
He's walking with a limp. Couldn't see what it was exactly, but I would assume it was as he went to ground to try to block that shot, as there was a bit of confusion in the 6-yard box. And
I think he's okay, the Cuban.
Well, that's a comforting thing to see, not just for tonight, but looking down the road.
Maybe a little bit of a dead leg. He's not going to take the free kick himself. Remember, he defected from the Cuban national team a couple of years ago in his second season with the Battery. Still a very young and raw prospect. There's his Cuban countryman Chang there, challenges for the ball, beaten to it though. 67 minutes in, Harrisburg play it long, and it will spin away for a throw-in on the far side. Time now a real enemy to Harrisburg, who have about 25 minutes to work with. 2-0 down.
Well, they need a quick one, don't they, Andrew? And you got to wonder if Wheeler's going to be able to make his mark on this game. They do have some substitutes on the bench sitting there waiting. James McLaughlin, Chris Hernandez, very talented players.
Portillo digs in, but he doesn't get there. It's maybe a chance for a strike. It's on target and saved by Additional Cooper.
Langley just doesn't get all of that. He's working in tight spaces, but finally has enough breathing room to have a shot. Didn't get all he wanted behind it, though, and it's an easy, comfortable save for Cooper, who looks to be okay.
Diouf just keeping Marquez honest, who has to play it back to the keeper Noble, out to Andrews on this near side. Plays it forward. It's a bit loose, that, but Ekra does well. He just stepped away and watched the ball through to Harrisburg at the top of the 18. That's a heavy touch. It'll run through for a goal kick. It was Wheeler who was the closest Harrisburg player. And, I just wonder how much longer before we see the change. Well, there it is.
There we go.
McLaughlin's going to come in, I think. Let's see who's coming off. Probably Wheeler.
You'd think so.
Is it no?
No. Oh, for a defender. Wow.
Why not? I tell you what, Bill Betcher, the head coach, you got to applaud him. Why not? You got to go for it here. And he's brought Raphael Cox off the right back, and he's brought a striker on in McLaughlin. So Harrisburg are going to change to a 3 at the back. And add a third striker. That will open things up if Charleston can find the passes. Here's Ekra across the halfway line. He's got a player wide on the far side. Harrisburg with numbers pushing forward. I think it's Langley over there, running at Wilson on his left foot. Squares it to Burrill. Can he get the shot? Oh, he couldn't quite get the shot off. Unlucky. Charleston win it now with Van Schaik. To Portillo, who turns into a bit of trouble and gets away with it. Down the line it goes to Diouf, who lets it run, and it'll be a throw-in for Harrisburg.
Well, give some credit to Harrisburg. They're not allowing Charleston to knock the ball around in the back. It seems like every time they get it, they want to push up because there's no space to knock the ball around with the back four. So as a result, they're recovering possession quite quickly. And over the last 10 minutes or so, they've really been enjoying the lion's share.
Here's McLaughlin on this near side. He plays it back inside to Ekra, who's been the pick of the bunch tonight for my money for Harrisburg. Out to this near side, Deshang. Back to McLaughlin, the sub. Running at them. He gets it forward into the box for Hoppenot. And, Mueller just too strong there for Hoppenot. Just forced him away, and it's behind for a goal kick. 20 minutes to play now at Blackboard Stadium. Charleston galloping into the playoffs. 2-0 up here at home over the visitors, the Harrisburg City Islanders.
Andrew, it's spot on defending from Taylor Mueller for essentially this whole night, except for that first minute. He's been fantastic in place of Colin Falvey. Just not only that last one right there, but a couple of minutes ago on Wheeler, where Wheeler was running at him with some pace very convincingly, and he just escorts him over to the end line and parries it away for a goal kick.
Nice kick out from Mueller as well, who's taking the goal kicks here for the moment. That came off Portillo, so it will be a throw in here for Harrisburg on this near side. We have fireworks to follow the game here tonight at Blackboard Stadium. Won't really affect you too much if you're listening on the radio, as I'm sure many of you are on ESPN Radio, 9:10 a.m. Your home for Charleston Battery Soccer in the 2014 season. Good ball out to the far side from Marquez. Slip back inside now to Morgan Langley. Oh, Chang wins the tackle. Up it goes to Diouf, and the Battery have it back. Can they keep possession here? It's been all Harrisburg for the last 10 minutes or so. Portillo under a bit of pressure. He shields the ball. It's given away by Diouf. Portillo has to dig in, but he doesn't get there. He does stick his foot in, though, and that will be a free kick for Harrisburg. Just outside the 18-yard box. Tempers flaring because there was a little bit of afters there as the players came together. Ajetti's furious. The referee is right there in the middle of it, and I think in the end it'll be just a free kick for Harrisburg City Islanders.
Yeah, Langley not happy with the trip coming from behind from Portillo, but I think a little more displeased with Ferguson, who fell on top of him and just kind of sat there. Yeah, he didn't make much of an effort to get off him too soon.
Well, he's a big boy, Ferguson, 6'3". You don't want him sitting on you for too long. 72 minutes played. Charleston Battery 2, Harrisburg City Islanders 0. A goal here would make for a very interesting last 18 minutes. And I'm thinking a direct strike is in order here for Harrisburg. Let's see who's over it. Jose Baril.
Baril, a young man from the Real Madrid Castilla over in Spain.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, how about that? Played for the Real Madrid C team and before coming over here to Harrisburg.
Let's see if he hits it like the boss, Ronaldo. He's stepping up. He's going to hit this, Baril. Oh, he doesn't. He plays it in. Good idea. That. Oh, but the shot from Hoppenot was not up to par. That was a lovely piece of set-piece trickery. Everyone thought he was going to hit it, but he just slotted it into the player in the box. And, well, the chance was there, but just went begging in the end.
Well, Hoppenot knows that he's got to get that shot off with a good deal of quickness behind it, and couldn't quite get the ball from under his feet when he goes to have it and curl it into that back post. Instead, he just swipes right through it, and it goes almost into the pond behind the goal.
Diouf challenges for the ball at the halfway line. The referee gives the throw into the Charleston Battery. We're headed towards the final 15 minutes. Quick throw taken. Chang turns with possession, looks to push forward, and runs into a Harrisburg player as Harrisburg's defense stands strong. And here's Baril now, bringing it forward. He drives it through the gap, and Ajetti was caught there. It's a chance for McLaughlin, a chance that is stopped by Additional Cooper, who denies him one-on-one. Still not fully clear. Wheeler trying to get the shot away. Charleston defending with numbers now, though. Back it comes to Ekra. We'll get back to that chance in a second as Harrisburg maintain possession. They chip it wide to the far side. Wilson cushions it. Runs into trouble. Ekra wins it back. Chipped into the middle. Mueller heads away. Van Schaik now can look up and launch it clear.
Oh, it was Hoppenot who was in on goal, wasn't he? He even beat the pacey Emmanuel Ajetti. He was one-on-one with Odesnal Cooper. And how about the Cuban? We talked about him earlier and how important he's been over the course of this entire season. And how about it right there, keeping this game at 2-goal deficit.
That's overhit by Ekra. That's going to run through for a goal kick. I'll tell you what, in the last 10 or 15 minutes, Burrill has really stamped his authority on this game.
Yeah, you would have liked him come out from the opening gate and really come out and started playing like this, but Burrill has stepped up. He's been very active. He was the one who slipped in Hoppenot, and you would hope over the next 16 minutes he can have another chance to set up a few more goal-scoring opportunities.
Bill Betcher makes a change. Hoppenot makes way for Hardware with 15 minutes to go.
Had his one last chance and couldn't quite take advantage of it. Now Hardware, the Jamaican, going to come in.
Well, that's a player that Coach Anhauser had praised this week. Said he's a good little dribbler and a bit of pace, so we'll keep an eye on him.
Well, I'm sure he'll be happy he only has to deal with him for 15 minutes.
Still time here for Harrisburg, but they need a goal. And here they come now with Burrill. He pushes it wide to McLaughlin, who had a big chance a few moments ago and fluffed his lines. He sets it forward to Hardware, who turns and hits it. It's on frame, but it's comfortable for Additional Cooper.
A bit of a Thierry Henry sort of turn and shoot right there, wasn't it, from Hardware, looking to come on with a spectacular first touch.
Mena's going to have a go at them down this near side. He's away from Burrill. He's got Andrews ahead of him. He cuts inside Andrews, finds Sanyang. Forward it goes to Diouf, who pushes it wide on the first touch, and that'll be a throw-in for the Battery down by the corner flag.
It's good from Diouf, though. Has a positive touch over to this near side, and he's happy to give away a throw-in, and just take some time off the clock.
Remember, a loss tonight, Dane, is not death for Harrisburg.
No, absolutely not. They're going to have to get the 3 points, you would have to think, against I believe it's going to be Charlotte tomorrow.
And they need some help. They need Pittsburgh not to win as tomorrow night, as the youngster, Portillo, the newcomer of the year, the rookie of the year, if you like, for the Battery, wins it in the midfield. Diouf loses the ball there, goes to ground, and Harrisburg can bring it away. The counter-attack is on, and it's Burrill again, striding across the halfway line. He pushes it down the line to McLaughlin. McLaughlin running at a jetty. Cuts inside onto his right foot, but Portillo is on the cover. Hardware misses or loses possession as he tried to go into the box, and Van Schaik is there to clean up the mess.
Defensively, Charleston has been, as close as you can come to perfect. They've had a couple chances where they may have been out of position just a bit, but it's been Odesno Cooper who has been there for the defensive backup.
Portillo inviting a jetty in here on this near side. 77 minutes in. Charleston 2, Harrisburg 0 here live on ESPN Radio, 9:10 a.m. Flag will stay down here as Charleston take possession with Chang. Looks up, plays it inside to Sanyang. Sanyang forward to Diouf, who couldn't control it, and Harrisburg will have it back on the far side. Just dropped off the pace a bit, Diouf, after scoring that brilliant goal to double the Battery's advantage. That one hangs up there, and Ajeti can take that on the chest. Volleys it to Mena. Mena turns into trouble, but Portillo is there, and he cushions it out to Mena. Mena caught by Langley. Great tackle that. I think he got the player a little bit, and Langley can push down the line. Mena's got to try and work himself back up here if he can, because Charleston are under the cosh with Burrill. Inside to McLaughlin. Chips it, little ball forward, looking for the return pass. It breaks down with the tackle from Taylor Mueller, who stuck his foot in. And now here's Diouf. It's 2 against 3 here, and he's asking Mena to run, and the chase is on. As Mena got the pace, Andrews gets there just in time. Mena looks up. He has possession. Plays it square here to he's got to pass it to Wilson, surely. Wilson storming forward from the far side from Van Schaik. Back inside now to Sanyang. Hands on knees time for Harrisburg. Chang tried to slip it into Sanyang. Well, was begging for a shot that, Dane.
Oh, for me, I was thinking Chang he is a cheeky player, isn't he? The little dink up over the top right into the path of Sanyang, for me, was what fits Chang's game perfectly, and just decided to wait a little bit, try to bend it around the back of the defenders, and it was nicely cut out by the number 4 in the back, Andrews.
Well, I hate to say it for you Harrisburg fans watching on USL, on the YouTube channel, the Battery's YouTube channel, but I think Harrisburg have run themselves into the ground here as Charleston go through again, and it's Van Schaik behind. He takes a good first touch, squares it. Oh, he just misses the target. Tried to chip the keeper. It was a good idea, and it's behind for a goal kick.
And does he have a go at that all on his own, Van Schaik? I thought it might have taken a deflection. It's unlike him to go from that sort of angle Thought he might have had one across the face of goal into Mena, but Van Schaik trying to catch everybody off guard, perhaps.
It's stretched beyond proportion, this game, and you have to look to the players with fresh legs. And here come Harrisburg again. Chance for the City Islanders, left across for Ajeti, who hooks it clear. There's not a lot of effort to get back and help defend here from the forwards for Harrisburg. That's the problem, as Charleston are going to stretch them again, as it's Van Schaik who turns with possession, looks for some help. They're still not really running back at pace. And now it's Charleston again with possession. They do have numbers back now, Harrisburg. Diouf trying to trick his way past the player. He's round him. Chips to the back post. Mena is there. Heavy touch. Will keep possession alive down by the corner flag. He's pulled the central defender wide and loses possession. He looks tired, Mena. I tell you what, it must be infectious. He just came on. He just came on 10 minutes ago. Harrisburg with it. We've got 10 minutes to play. It's been an absorbing game. The Battery are 2-0 up. Still Harrisburg fight on. They're looking for a way back here, if there is one. They need a goal. You're listening live locally on ESPN Radio 9, 10 a.m. Charleston want to make another change here with another midfielder warming up. We'll get to that in a second, because here's Hardware, who slots it into the gap. It was cut out by Ferguson, who's had a good game tonight with Mueller alongside him. Back it goes to the keeper, Cooper, who hits it away first time. Diouf will try and hold up play here. He heads to Portillo, scoops it back to Mamadou Diouf. Can he keep possession? He can't. He gives it away. Hands on head. And Ferguson has to step. Wilson involved into the box. Oh, he has to hit it with his right foot, and it's a good clearance from the veteran.
Well, he's played 269 games in a Battery uniform. You got to think, even if we question him up here in the booth, he knows what he's doing down there.
Jetty telling Mena to get wide and help him cover the attack here on this near side. Sanyang pushing onto to press against the ball. Set back nicely there as Mueller goes to ground. He had to stretch and he got there. And that'll be a free kick for the Battery as Ferguson is felled from behind. Here comes another change. It's a last roll of the dice, this, for Bill Betcher and the Harrisburg City Islanders, as Deshang makes way for number 23, Chris Hernandez.
Yeah, Hernandez, he was the U18 Academy Player of the Year, and he just does have that little bit of quality up top that might actually break this Charleston Battery defense, but you gotta wonder if maybe he would have been better suited to come in a little earlier in the game, just to allow his presence to be felt for a longer time. Van Schaik with a stellar performance once again. He has been everywhere, just like I'm pretty sure we've said about him every shift that he puts in.
Van Schaik makes way for Aminu Abdallah, a late substitution for Coach Anhauser. That's a good header from Mena to find Abdallah, who turns with possession, tries to flick it forward to Diouf. Diouf goes to ground, gets up. Charleston keep possession with Abdallah. Back it goes to the halfway line to Ajeti, his fellow Ghanaian.
They don't have to push up. I'm sorry, Andrew.
Not too... yeah, there's no pressure on the Battery to score, but they would love a third, wouldn't they? As Wilson plays it forward now. Abdallah can't keep possession, and Harrisburg have it back in the 83rd minute. Across the halfway line they come.
This is really who you want on the ball right now, isn't it, Baril?
And it goes forward to Hernandez. It's a bit soft, though. It's given away as Portillo tricks his way out of trouble. And again, he's around a second player. Down the line it goes to Diouf. Diouf sets it back to Portillo. Up it goes to Abdallah, who's allowed to turn with possession. Chang forward to Sanyang. He's got Mena in space. Mena with a good first touch into the box. Looking to get the shot away. Step over, strike, and he misses the target. He hit it well. It could have been 3-0, but it's wide of the target, and it will be a goal kick for Harrisburg.
Well, I'm sorry, Andrew, but Mena, for me, takes entirely too long to get into that run. He was in acres of space over here on the near side and was a bit complacent, perhaps. We talked about him perhaps being tired. I'm not sure.
You look at his move, though, and he's round the defender.
Oh, it was fantastic.
He got
the
shot
great
away.
Move.
And, he couldn't hit the target, Dane.
Yeah, he does the hard part, doesn't he? Getting around the defender. He's just got to put one on goal and make noble work.
5 minutes to go till full time. Charleston with a 2-0 lead over Harrisburg in this late season game with playoff implications for both teams. For the Battery, it's placing. For Harrisburg, it's a matter of life or death as the ball is punched away, saved on the second attempt by Adisnell Cooper on the reaction. Well, he's been superb tonight.
Unbelievable again from Cooper. He has just been everywhere, everything that's been asked of him tonight. Even his own an own goal attempt by Taylor Mueller that just happened off of a chance cross. He was up for the task for. He's been everything for this Charleston Battery defense when the back line is broken.
Charleston trying to spring Diouf again. It's tired legs he's up against as he got the pace to get round the last defender. Marquez, he holds it up, he waits. Leaves it now for Mena. Mena sets it back towards Portillo, who's going to have to stretch. That's a free kick, surely, for Harrisburg. And they take it quickly. They want to get on with it. Fair play to Harrisburg. Slotted through the gap. Ajeti smacks it clear. Diouf won't challenge. He's offside. Harrisburg bring it forward. Langley striding, still going. Good tackle from Wilson. The referee thought about it, but doesn't award a free kick. Charleston thought he was going to, and it's Harrisburg with it now, edge of the 18. McLaughlin working against Ajeti. Shot. Oh, unlucky. Just missed the top corner. Goal kick.
Well, since he was introduced a few minutes ago, McLaughlin, he has been very active over here on this near side and couldn't quite get the dip on that he was hoping for as he cut into the inside and tried to put it on frame. Charleston, though, just being a little complacent in the back. Southern Hospitality taking its effect back there as Charleston was trying to get Langley up on his feet instead of defend.
Charleston drill it away, 87th minute. 2-0 to Charleston, free kick conceded. Harrisburg with a chance still. They need to find a goal here, the City Islanders. Out it comes to this near side. McLaughlin, who's been lively since his introduction. Saved perhaps for tomorrow night. They got their work cut out tomorrow, though, against Charlotte. I can tell you that.
That's for sure.
If you're in the area, make sure you get to the Eagles game tomorrow. Oh, and whoa! Well, what's the decision here? It's a yellow card for Sanyang, but did you see the kick from Hernandez?
Hernandez, he's got to be careful right there.
That was David Beckham style. Remember, he got sent off for that in the World Cup. He kicked out at Sanyang. And needs to be very, very careful. The last thing he wants to do is get sent off. I don't think he's going to even get booked for that. 88th minute, Charleston are 2-0 up. And it's a chance for Harrisburg here with a couple of minutes remaining. If they score here, it's a grandstand finish at Blackboard Stadium. On his left foot, Hernandez. Swings it out. Oh,
that's disappointing.
He got under it, and it's behind for a goal kick. It comes to nothing, and I just don't think there's a way back for Harrisburg at this point, Dane.
Yeah, you know, the time they've had their time, haven't they? And they've had some chances for sure, but Adisnell Cooper has been there through thick and thin for the Charleston Battery defenders, and it's been a very frustrating performance that you could perhaps see off of the number 23 Fernandez's cross into the middle. Chris
Hernandez, the substitute. There's Burrill, who's been lively in the second half, plays it forward. Wilson is strong though. He wins. Oh, he got caught there by Burrill. Well, that won't make him very popular, and he's booked for the tackle on Wilson, who gets one more kick at Blackboard Stadium in his 269th game for Charleston. His professional career, of course, includes many more games than that. He had 5 years away from the Battery with Kansas, DC, Rochester. Won a championship with Major League Soccer's Kansas City Wizards in 2000, which is an age ago. Portillo on the ground, finds Diouf. Diouf plays it wide to Mena. Good cushion touch. He goes, he tried to go around the player Boehner, who stood him up and clips it away to Hernandez. Hernandez to the halfway line. Early ball forward. That's a good ball out to the far side. Here come Harrisburg. They're not done yet. Cross comes in, driven in. Oh, chested over the bar at pace. Goal kick.
Oh, how unlucky is it from Langley, who just puts his body out in the way and hopes for a deflection goalward. And look at that. Desno Cooper sitting back on his knees, keeled over. Troublesome sight right there. But how about the cross in from Andrews, pushing up. He
Awesome.
has been the center back this whole night, but pushing up all the way forward to that far side touchline. And the cross came in with a tremendous amount of pace. Very threatening.
Harrisburg win the battle for the loose ball. Ajeti brings it wide. That'll be a free kick. As well, it was a substitute. I didn't even see him come in there. Pettis, who came through Ajeti to concede a free kick in the 90th minute. Harrisburg still fighting, but time is really running out for them. 4 minutes will be added on. We're into that 4 minutes now as the ball skips away to this near side. It'll be a throw-in for the Charleston Battery. If you're joining us late, Charleston scored a goal in the first half through Cordovez. Diouf added a second, and they've hung on to and really hung on well to that 2-0 scoreline. Held off a real barrage from Harrisburg in the second half. And Charleston are headed into the postseason. Whoa, that was a little bit naughty, wasn't it? But the referee says get up. It was a high challenge from Hernandez. Diouf's okay. Here come Harrisburg now. It wasn't Hernandez, I apologize, because that's Hernandez on the ball, and he's running at them. He pushes it wide. McLaughlin has to stretch, keeps it in play. 4 or 5 in the middle for Harrisburg. In it comes. Charleston win the header.
Again, Ferguson in the right place at the right time. Him and Mueller have not missed a beat without the skipper, Colin Falvey, in the available in the team.
Falvey's not going to be with the Battery for the remainder of the season as Charleston win it in the tackle at the halfway line. Mena just needs to hang on to it here. The game's over if he can. Pettis is digging in to try and get back at him. Oh! Mena have pushed it by him. Pettis just chopped him down. It'll be a free kick for Charleston.
Yeah, that's the second one in a couple minutes now from Pettis, who stuck in on a jetty, two-footed challenge over on a jetty, and now that one was a very cynical challenge from Pettis right there. Hopefully Mena...
Bit of frustration from Pettis, but absolutely no attempt to play the ball.
Right. No.
He's just trying to stop Mena's run and took his legs from him. It'll be a free kick for the Battery. Mena receiving some treatment. Charleston getting a bit banged up, aren't they?
You got to think, I mean, it's been a long season for them. If they can get into the playoffs with a healthy squad, they could create some havoc amongst the top 4 of the USL Pro, which still remains to be seen.
I think Battery are one of the informed teams coming into the postseason.
Absolutely.
Of course, they'll have to go on the road for that first round game as Chang takes it to the corner flag, tries to win a goal kick, but he's knocked to the ground, and it'll be tries to win a corner. It's a goal kick rather for Harrisburg. They need to get it forward very quickly here. By my watch, we've got 90 seconds remaining. There's no time. There's no time for them to get back and get a point here. It's going to have to be tomorrow night against Charlotte. They're still trying, though. Here come Harrisburg on the far side. Down the line it goes, stretching the Battery a little bit. Cross comes in, and a foot save from the Battery's goalkeeper. It was a first-time shot from Hardware wide of the target.
Well, Cooper didn't have much to do right there as he came out and using the legs for a kick save and a beauty. Hardware found it to him off the rebound, but the long attempt was always going to be troublesome for the young Jamaican.
Harrisburg not dead yet. Remember that. They can still qualify. They'll need to win tomorrow and hope for some help around the league. I think we were saying, what was it? Pittsburgh can jump over them with a win. So still all to play for into the final moments of this USL Pro season. It's been absolutely absorbing. Here come Harrisburg again. McLaughlin running at a jetty into the box to the byline, caught by a jetty to concede a corner. It might well be the last kick of the match. I wonder if goal difference comes into it as well. Maybe that's a factor. So
I believe it does, Andrew.
Harrisburg trying to pull one back here at the death. Hernandez on that left foot. Good ball in. Chested down, it's in! Oh, it was Pettis who heads it past Cooper. Finally, they break through. By my watch, we've got 5 seconds to play. Harrisburg have pulled the goal back.
And how frustrating is it for Harrisburg? They work 93 minutes, and just break the seal on the very last, perhaps, kick of the match.
Well, he'll add 30 seconds on here for sure. The Battery 2-1 up now. It's been a real scrap from Harrisburg, and they're rewarded for their efforts with a late goal. Is there time for one more? Abdallah plays it forward. It's back to the keeper. They have possession now, Harrisburg. He's going to roll it out. They've got to get it forward here. Oh, Diouf nicks it from the player, Hernandez. And there's the final whistle. The Battery prevail. 2-1 winners. What a fight from Harrisburg. But in the end, too little too late. And Charleston pick up the 3 points, and we'll head to the postseason. We're going to go straight to break. When we come back, the post-game show, we'll get thoughts from Dana Lucas first, and then Coach Anhauser after the break. Charleston 2, Harrisburg 1 after 90 minutes. We'll be back with more on ESPN Radio, 9:10 a.m.